Hi y'all, I'm Tanya.
And I'm Lee.
We are co-hosts of the I Want to Believe podcast.
Join us for new episodes every Sunday night where we discuss all things paranormal and unsolved.
If you love all things spooky or just want to listen to two geeks talk about ghosts, this is the podcast for you.
You can find us on Audioboom,
iTunes,
Google Play,
Stitcher, and more. Stay spooky! 1, 2, 3.
What's up, Southern Fried fam? This is Sean. I've once again tricked my co-hosts into letting me do some wrestling talk. And today I have not just one, but 3 guests. Talk about wrestling. We got SummerSlam coming up here very soon. Actually, by the time you're hearing this, it'll be the coming Sunday. So let them introduce themselves into here. Returning to the podcast once again is...
Ding, ding, ding. Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Action Jackson, a.k.a. Jonathan Holt, a.k.a. John Omari, a.k.a. got so many names. But you remember from last time it's Action Jackson, so maybe I should have just left it at that. What's up, guys? Good to be back. Good to be back, Sean. Thanks for letting me come in here and talk to you guys.
Oh, anytime. My wife still refers to you as John Allen.
Yeah, your wife, speaking of wives, you know, the first tattoo. Oh, by the way, guys, his wife, the skull that's on my tattoo, she did that. Yeah.
Okay. She did do that.
Yeah, she did that.
True story. But the guys he was just referring to, we got a couple of trainees, and people are training to wrestle. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
All right, man. Hey, my name is Nick, but I go in the wrestling community. I go as Carter Mathews here in the Arkansas and Tennessee area.
Oh, okay. So have you already started wrestling?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I meant to say that. Sorry, not only they're trainees, but they're also participants in wrestling now.
Okay. So these aren't fresh out the gate. Sorry, all right. But we have one more also. We'll get into that in a second, John.
They're both on the same, they started around the same time. They're both having matches, but we still train. We still train every week. So maybe I shouldn't use the word trainees. Maybe.
And to be fair, I made the assumption when he used the word, I'm bringing in trainee. Singular, also.
Okay, well, yeah.
See, you're just bad. Sorry, we have one more. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, guys, and I'm Cassandra Golden, the golden one.
All right. Awesome. Well, we've already heard enough from John. I'm already tired of him, so...
you know, they won't be the first person.
Right, but we actually did get a very good history into John. Mm-hmm. Last time, it was a very good in-depth interview. A lot of people responded very well to it.
Really? Okay, that's cool, man. I'm glad. Very intrigued on that. It felt good. You know, walking up on that front porch, I always got ate up by a robin bird.
It's true. Got attacked by birds. That's how we roll down here.
Action Jackson running away from a robin.
I can't see it, actually.
I was really scared. I was.
I wouldn't admit that anymore.
Okay. Well, it's on the air now, so literally.
It's on. All 45 of our listeners have heard the story. So. We've heard how he kind of got into, what got him into wrestling, what got him kind of started. So let's hear it from y'all. I mean, what inspired you to start wanting to wrestle? You know, it's been a childhood love. I mean, what was it for you?
I mean, I've always loved it since I was a kid. I got introduced to the sport as I was about 4 years old. My brother introduced me to it. I grew up watching the guys like, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Owen, the Attitude Era, but it's not really something you can really speak about, but I was heavily influenced by Chris Benoit. And loved his championship run. Yeah,
I know he's kind of a taboo subject, a big tragedy at the end of his life, but you can't not acknowledge his accomplishments through there and the influence he has had on people.
I would definitely agree. He's one of the best technical wrestlers of all time, in my personal opinion. And I mean, there's a lot more to it who I've been influenced by what got me into Triple H, Shawn Michaels, all the greats that you can possibly think of. So I've just loved it, and I've always wanted to pursue it. And
you gotta love the non-greats too, Nick.
Like you?
Nope.
There you go. I said I told him in the car we were gonna do that. That was totally not his idea.
Well, I mean, but you're not wrong. Like I said, I've constantly gotten into many wrestling discussions. Like people list some of my favorite. Of course, you love the greats, you love the classics. I was a kid of the 80s, so like growing up with Jake the Snake was my all-time favorite from back in the day. But in the 90s, that Attitude Era, the Wars, Raven, he's not looked upon very much as like, a big name. He was kind of jobbering at the end of his WWE run, but he's a technical wrestler. He's a damn good mic'sman, all that good stuff. He's one of my favorites.
The best promos ever.
Absolutely. And the only one you'll ever see who has a best of DVD where he loses half his matches.
Yeah. Oh, damn, he does.
Oh, yeah. I have one of those.
Raven was a big part of WCW.
He
Him
was.
and his flock. It was an enormous part. I mean, not trying to, cut short of what he did at ECW and all, but WCW, man, it's like, that was the only thing I watched as a kid anyway, growing up. Like, of course, I turned and saw ECW and every now and then, but Raven, you see a guy coming from commercial break, and there's a guy sitting in the corner with the leather jacket on, got the little curly hair over his head. He pissed off at everybody, got a grudge, got a chip on his shoulder, and he talking shit and quote the Raven every morning. That was some good shit, man.
I liked him.
I really appreciate those times and his faction. That was a really good part of my memory and what I grew up on personally also. So I'm with you on that. Raven was really a big part of history, what we grew up watching, especially with the Monday Night Wars.
No, definitely. So, what got you into wrestling?
Well, I actually didn't watch wrestling too much when I was very young. When I was very young, that was.
I'm a Barbie girl.
Shut up.
This is quickly falling apart,
I know.
which is on brand for our podcast, so it's perfectly fine.
Falling to pieces. But it was more of my sister and my dad's bonding experience. They would watch it a lot together. Chris Benoit was my sister's favorite, and I used to mess with her all the time and call him Chris Bennett. And she would yell at me all the time. I was like, his name is Benoit. Until I used to make her so mad. Until I actually shut up.
Hey, I'm Principal Chris Bennett. That was good stuff. Okay.
Until I actually sat down and watched it. It was around 2005 when I actually finally sat down and watched wrestling, and I just fell in love with it. Shelton Benjamin was who actually got me into wrestling. I love Shelton Benjamin. He is so athletic. I can't really model my style after him too much, but I wish I could.
Why is that, Cassandra?
You know what? I wish I was half of that athletic.
Of course you are. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'll get there one day, maybe.
Exactly. You gotta set a goal.
Set a goal. My goal was to be Shelton Benjamin, female version.
Get one of those move sets where you get that instant replay where we always see Shawn Michaels kicking him in the face and every highlight package.
Exactly. So it was definitely Shelton Benjamin who got me into loving it because everything about Shelton I just loved at the time. So.
Oh, awesome. So we got, like I said, Shelton Benjamin, he has actually returned. I haven't seen him on SmackDown the last couple of weeks, but he has come back. He bulked up in Japan.
Yeah,
he did. So like with some of the the current product that we got going right now, especially for the up and comers, he's old hat when it comes to going to WWE, but we'll talk about that here in a second. But like some of the more like the current wrestlers, like who's someone that you kind of look up to, or maybe. You never know what your style is going to evolve into, I would assume, as you go through the years of working in the ring. But who kind of do you look at now who's kind of currently wrestling?
I mean, there's a lot of people I personally think that are just.
And if y'all hear that clicking going around, we are recording this at my place, and my dog Abigail has some long nails on this bamboo carpet. So sorry, much like Craig's cats, we got noises all about. Sorry.
Hold up, Nick. Let me stop right there. I would like to say something. On that note, I would like to say who I still look up to right now, and honestly, it's John Cena, and there's multiple reasons why. Number one, I guess when you look in the comic books, when you look at Superman or Incredible Hulk, or any of your big super duper heroes, what do you see? You see muscles.
Absolutely.
And, a guy that looks like they can kill somebody. When you look at John Cena, physically, he looks like an Olympian. He looks ridiculous. And that's just something that a lot of guys like me want to have that type of look. You want to have that look where Regal told me himself, you want to look like someone that can kill somebody. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for killers, and we're portraying to be killers and things like that. So when I look at Cena, I see that he takes care of his body as long as he's been in WWE, about 15 years plus, and he's still keeping up with his body the way he does, and the way he has these big matches is just hats off to this dude. This dude has so much. I admire him so much for what he does. And then promos, aside for the goofy Cena, when he's serious Cena, he can cut the meanest promos, absolutely. And it's the most believable promos, and it'll probably make you cry if he's talking about you, because it's he'll let someone get a one up on him, but he always come up even twice as hard when he comes back with his promos, and it's I would not want to be on the receiving end. And then lastly, he has the biggest fan base, aside of The Rock or Steve Austin. Just millions of people, kids, admire him around the world, and then where his career is going now to the Hollywood, he's going to be right behind The Rock. So I look at Cena as someone who I would like to, follow in as for career-wise, where I'm able to, those three things right there, I would like to be able to put in my self if I was to ever get the opportunity to make it that far.
Oh, absolutely.
So John Cena is someone who I would look up to right now, currently.
I mean, rightfully so. Whether you're actually a fan of his work or, the character, which a lot of people are kind of tired of the same old character, but it's not going too far to say he's the Hulk Hogan of this era.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what he is.
I mean, he's just larger-than-life character, and he is, like him or hate him, which I've always said I'm not a huge fan of him, but I acknowledge what he's done. So, yeah, not a bad person to look to. But sorry, Nick, you got interrupted.
It's all good. It kind of happens from this fuck mook all the time. So,
small penises matter.
Hey, fuck you.
Hey, they all matter. They all need love.
There's a lot of people who hate on this dude, and I was one of them for a while. I was even doing it at the Royal Rumble in 2017. That's Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns, yeah. He gets a lot of hate.
I've become one of the biggest fans of what he does. I respect what he does inside the ring, and not only that, but outside the ring too. I wouldn't say he's my favorite promo. I've got only two answers for that one. That's Paul Heyman and CM Punk.
Wow.
That's aside from all the qualities of a good wrestler. That's kind of what I aspire to be. It's more of I want to be able to kill you with my words. Oh,
for sure. And actually, it's really great that you acknowledged Paul Heyman, because we talk about great promos, and there are great wrestlers who are promos, but
some of the best.
Heyman, it just kills it on the mic every single time, because it's not just a role. He lives this. It's his life, and that's where you feel that emotion. That's where John Cena, and even Roman Reigns, who I was one of the very vocal about how I thought got in too early. His promos were too robotic, all that kind of, and on there. And now he's done his time, and now when he's gets a little off script, you can feel that emotion that he does actually care for this business. When he cuts him, it feels like he goes off script.
The promos he was cutting against Cena in that whole story was that.
Yeah, the whole
the best out of him.
The whole shoot work style that the Rock Cena feud kind of brought into the mainstream now.
And that's what I tell them. I said, when you cut promos, it's like you got to shoot on them, because if you're trying to make, and this is what Cena directly told me when I asked him about. I asked Cena literally.
He's name dropping all day.
You know what? It don't matter. But I'm going to share with you guys what John Cena literally told me when I asked him. Mr. Cena, I didn't say that. I said, excuse me, can you tell me what are the keys do you do to make your promo seem so real? And he said, you stick to the bullet points to the promo, and then you make it real. He says, if you notice something about the guy you're working that has some shortcomings or something that he wouldn't want no one to see, you gotta let the air out. Like when he's talking about Dwayne or The Rock writing his notes on his wrist or something like that, or anytime. This is real shoot stuff that Cena says about people over the mic. But he what he does when he cuts promos, he'll build them up, and then right when he builds them up, he'll just tear them down with all the deficiencies they do, as far as with The Rock with the writing his notes on his wrist and all all the things that he done and repeat over the years and stuff like that. So basically, Cena just told me, he's like, if you're gonna make a promo real, you just gotta make it real. You just gotta shoot. And so I usually, when I get on promos, even though I'm kind of silly with it, but I'm just shooting. I'm not making up no fake, phony, bullshit or nothing. I'm just really saying how I feel about the truth on something, and that's what I always tell them to do. Is like when y'all cut a promo, make it real. Don't worry about hurting nobody's feelings. Don't worry about, hey man, you shouldn't have said that on the microphone. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to get over, you're not trying to get them over. I mean, you do want to get your opponent over, but you want to get yourself over too.
Indeed, and I mean, like I said, I've refereed those 4 matches for you, but beyond that, of course, never stepped in the ring myself. But I mean, there is that aspect though of where you got to make yourself, you ain't gonna bury your opponent, but you got to make sure you're up there. And I would think at least once you're actually in there in a storyline, or you're about to be a heated rivalry, you shouldn't be taking that stuff personal. Go for the throat and give it back.
Right.
That's how I would imagine that's how a promo should go.
That's exactly what it's supposed to do.
How about you, Miss Cassandra?
Currently I love. Don't giggle at me.
One good one.
Oh, I thought you giggled at me. So I love Sasha Banks. Sasha is like my favorite, especially my.
Since this is live on the radio, you can't see the looks these two just gave her.
I love Sasha. I feel like Sasha has a great match with anybody who she wrestles, especially in the women's division. She's like my number one in the women's division. I love her. As far as like men overall, I do love AJ Styles, Seth Rollins. I love Jeff Hardy. He's a nostalgia one for sure.
Oh yeah.
Jeff Hardy can do no wrong in my eyes. You know.
Except Gage's ears.
Oh my
That
goodness.
was painful.
He pops about for a match at least.
By the way, guys, if y'all haven't noticed by now, Nick is our hater in our group.
I know.
Not the hater.
He hates. He's literally
You're the bully.
He's the heel in real life.
You're the bully. So you over here.
Listen to his voice. Don't he sound like a heel? Say something, Nick.
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, that was terrible. There's so much venom in that.
I can sound like one,
But yeah, Sasha Banks is solid. I don't blame her for any shortcomings she's having right now as far as kind of repetition in her matches because deservedly so, especially coming out of NXT. There was a reason they pushed her into the limelight. And I think they kind of got a little too much exposure, I guess you could say. Not that she can't come out with new stuff, but she will eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right now, I'm kind of like, she's good, she's entertaining every time, but it's like, okay, I've kind of seen this match already because her and Charlotte had a tear the house down match every month. Her and Bailey. So. But hey, definitely someone to look up to for sure. She's a solid women's wrestler for sure, or just wrestler in general, not even that. So, John, speaking of people on Raw, you were on Raw not too long ago.
Who, me?
You were.
Uh-oh.
So you were part. For those who don't watch, or maybe kind of some I know, there is a wrestler currently named No Way Jose, who has a big entrance involving a conga line.
So it's kind of like your boy Adam Rose when they did the Rosebud. It's exactly the same thing.
Where you can spot Braun Strowman wearing a hamburger suit at one point, I believe, with those early.
It's so funny how many guys over the last few years got signed out of being an extra, and it's like I'm just really praying, like, hey.
Every time I see you as an EMT or getting slapped by a bella or whatever you're doing on TV,
I'm all kind of shit. I was a hot dog once before, paramedic.
Every time you're mean mugging Triple H on NXT TakeOver,
staring at Vicky Guerrero's ass. I don't know if y'all remember that. You remember that or no?
I remember that you was looking so mad when they fired her. You was walking around like he was angry as hell.
That was my first time on worldwide television.
He was all trying to act all swole up and looking mean, like, get out of here.
I was trying so hard. Oh, man.
Great.
Yeah, it felt so good, though.
Yeah.
But it did. Yeah. So, I mean, what were we talking about?
You in the conga line.
Okay, so
how did that come about? And how was No Way Jose? How was was it Mojo Rawley? He wrestled.
Yeah, it was no. It was Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder.
So basically, for first we've been seeing No Way Jose for like a few months. Like matter of fact, us three, we were on Bourbon Street for Mania,
about that.
and we bumped into him and
a
whole bunch. I got Goldberg, and we'll say that.
Don't
We'll
get
say that.
started.
Yeah, I got kind of shunned. You know how much I love that dude.
Did he? Is it because he know we covered up the tattoo?
I ran up to him and I was like, Goldberg. He's like, "What y'all kidding?" Like, I heard some music and some sad music and the violin. And I was hurt.
He had the one cartoon rain cloud above his head.
We had
never meet your heroes, ladies and gentlemen. Never meet your heroes.
What happens after is much funnier.
Not on Bourbon Street. So anyway, we're gonna skip that part. Nick,
I don't know what you're talking about. Video evidence.
But we ran into No Way Jose, and it was funny because we were main event. We were actually promoting our show on Bourbon, so we were passing out our flyers or whatever, and we ran into Bianca
Belair and Montez.
Cass has a crush on Montez.
Shut up.
John has a crush on Bianca Belair.
I just want to smash, but anyway, so
See,
smashes.
Big dip.
EST.
See the boom.
oh my god.
So we were passing out
actually
flyers, and then we what was it, Montez or was it Yeah. So we were over there passing WWE guys flyers. Hey, y'all not doing shit tomorrow. Come to our show and some shit like that. And Montez like, what you mean I'm working? And Big Daddy Yum Yum. He was he's like, boy, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't working. Here, he throwing a flyer. You come to our show. You ain't doing nothing tomorrow. Come watch us.
That is. I'm making sure I get my name right. That is one of the Street Profits. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I heard they were in a relationship.
Yeah, they just got married. Actually.
Oh. Yeah. Well, congratulations to you two if you listen to this podcast ever.
And I didn't say smash. That was Nick. But.
He does a damn good impression of John when he's saying inappropriate things.
Yeah, I told you he's a heel. So, but
Speaking of Smash,
don't be snitching. Don't be snitching. We're getting off subject.
We just saw her.
Okay. So anyway, we ran into No Way Jose then, and then of course I saw him when I was booked on it as an extra when I was on Raw, and usually they get about 12 of us to do the conga line or whatnot.
And they usually do look for local indie wrestlers.
Yeah, I mean that's all. Yeah, that's
it's
what
not
they
just
do.
backhand groups.
No,
It's usually performers are usually
it's
in
usually
that line.
local talent, which I encourage.
Which is
them,
awesome.
These two to make their WWE.
Nick, get that chicken on your head, man.
Yeah.
I've already got my profile made.
They got their profiles made. So hopefully,
Nice.
when WWE
Nice.
does come near town, they'll get called next time. And then usually when that happens, maybe not, you'll get called to do something on television. If not,
I just gotta quit eating snacky cakes.
if not, you just you just sit in the back and eat oatmeal pies all night and get paid for it. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
life is hard, man.
You know.
I don't want to eat snacky
Ain't nothing bad. But so, what was it like going out there doing that? Because I know I was watching Raw, and I think you may have dropped a hint or something, you were in that area. And I usually make sure I pay attention to the background when it's in this local area looking for you.
Oh yeah,
and you were definitely the most animated conga member in that entire
I
line.
can't help myself. I just let it go. Every time I go, whether it's at an indie show, you can ask them. I just go fully Action Jackson mode, I guess.
Right.
I just kind of made that up, but it's just I kind of give no fuck.
But less respectable than Brie
That was
mode.
a sarcastic laugh, by the way.
funny.
So, don't do high five.
See, he turned on it. Heel faction on the same couch.
Now, wait a moment.
So, but anyway, so I go out there. I want a job there, and I know, and I've heard stories of Vince hiring guys who took a bump where he was extra animated before. This was what Regal told me. Another name drop, but Regal told me this.
Damn good name to drop, by the way.
Yeah,
Regal is amazing.
Mm-hmm. And he was like, he was basically like, yeah, Vince hired this guy because he took a bump a certain way, and Vince was like, hire that guy. So each and every time I go out there, I just try to make myself get noticed any way I can. So I went out there with a chicken on my head,
Damn right. Did you get to pick that outfit, or they just handed
Yeah, they have this big box of outfits and costumes, and people just like, oh, all right, just put something together, and then we all just fighting over shit. And of course, I found a chicken head, so I put it on my head, and I was a chicken head,
Representing what he is in real life.
So yeah, so there's your heel little dick Nick. So, but, I go out there with the chicken head, and then of course, what do you know, Corey Graves puts me over, and there there you have it. There's one of many episodes of Raw that Action Jackson was on as a different character of some sort. Pretty soon they're gonna come up with a SmackDown vs. Raw video game where they're gonna have the extra character, and it's gonna be like, how it was mocap. It's gonna be Action Jackson just dressed up as something.
Damn right.
So
we know you guys said you guys created a profile already for WWE. So you spent some time backstage.
No.
What I mean by that is
what
like
was that?
when they look for talent, they have a database of local talent that's in there. So it's kind of a secret thing, but it's not.
We're gonna get shot for this, or I need to edit this up?
No. I mean, I'm just saying, the more people that know about it, the more people, more you have to wait in line, maybe, unless they know you, and they're like, we're going to Arkansas, let's call, this guy, or, going to California, let's call this guy that normally works with us. But I let all my trainees know that, hey, you just get up, just fill this profile out. Matter of fact, last go around they came down here, one of my other trainees went on and did it, and then they ended up emailing him like the next day, and then he got booked on it with me.
Nice.
So I mean, it's simple, but I mean, you don't want to. It's good to go up there with some type of knowledge instead of just going out there, because there has been people that has nothing to do or know nothing about wrestling that's been booked before, and when they ask them, hey, can you take a bump, they're like, what?
Right.
So it's kind of, you don't want to get put in that position, but it's WWE. If they like you, if they want you, they have a training facility. They'll train you from scratch anyway. So
absolutely.
So in a sense, it kind of don't matter, but. It's a hell of an experience at the end of the day, and I just hope to see both these guys on there with me, if we do it again, if they come to town again, and that's what I'm just trying to train them, getting them prepared for just big shows. And now Cass, on the other hand, she's already been on the East Coast. She's getting bookings all over the place. She's getting a lot. I will say she's somewhat attractive. She's all right, I guess. Cass is gorgeous. She is. She's really, and she's so good. She's improving so much. She's a big inspiration to a lot of people, a lot of women. She's an inspiration to me, because if you don't mind if I share this, Cassandra dropped a lot of weight. She put in so much training. And first of all, let me rewind it before that. Cass, when she first started, she got broken into business and she went to Canada and trained under Lance Storm for 3 months.
Nice. I'm a huge Lance Storm.
That should have been the first thing
awesome.
I said.
That's awesome.
That should have been the first thing she said, but she just went to
Another, like, sorry to interrupt on this, but, like, another truly underappreciated wrestler
for sure.
in, like, the mainstream. That dude is ridiculous. And if you've ever read his books or just, obviously you've talked to him, but if any of y'all don't know, like, look up Storm Warnings. His books and just talk about his career and his thoughts in wrestling. It's so entertaining, and he's very smart. Very smart. Okay. So, but... well, we'll start with then Cass then, 'cause I was going to ask, because we've heard John's story of him coming up, and, like, y'all haven't already wrestled some matches. Like, what's some of the experiences you've had that are, like, memorable or learning? Or we learned John's hardest bump he ever took, thanks to one Big Daddy Yum Yum tossing him across the ring. So, any stories you want to share with that?
Uh-oh.
Or, like, favorite memory or, worst bump you've ever taken?
Well, actually,
Anything
it's not
fun.
like the worst bump I've ever taken, but it was actually a pretty easy one. We were going up for, like, a double power bomb from, like, the turnbuckles.
Right.
So I was, like, terrified. I was like, oh man, I don't want to do this. I'm so scared. But then actually, it was actually pretty easy. It went down fine. But, normally just stuff like that, you think it's just so scary. But once you actually just get up there and you're just doing it, it's not that bad. So it really just taught me, just as a person, that if I just go out there and do things, sometimes I get really nervous and I don't want to do things.
Yeah.
I second guess myself a lot, so that really showed me that
Just overthink sometimes
I
and
overthink
hesitate.
a lot. So that really showed me,
Who am I to
like,
talk to?
man, maybe things aren't so bad.
Oh, okay. That's
Who
great.
the hell double powerbombed you? If that makes sense.
You know about Brittany from Louisiana?
Oh,
It was
yeah.
at Action
Okay.
Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Action. Yeah, had a birthday action. Mr. Jackson.
You can't just have wrestling without it,
Yeah, without the action.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. So, it was just a memory as well that, maybe things aren't as bad as I think they're going to be, and I need to really just go for certain things. And these guys tell me all the time that I second guess myself, what I mean?
You second guess yourself.
Yeah, I
I'll
know.
get.
Now everybody's trying to jump up me.
Shit, I'll tell her to stop being a little bitch and get her fucking ass out of the ground.
Rude.
I do enough.
He's just mad because she can't get none of her ass. Because she won't give him no ass.
Childish. Shut up.
I was gonna put you over.
Oh,
see.
John ruining everything.
Oh, that's why we keep him around, just for this lovely personality. Nick, how about you? Any memorable bumps or action in the ring that, like, stand out? Learning experiences?
Man, my whole journey has been... It's been so weird, but it's been so rewarding. I've gotten to do what I feel like for being my first year in the business. I've gotten to do so much, and I've gotten to see so much. Oh, God, I can't believe I'm about to do this.
We get an exclusive here on Southern Fried Geekery
Let me
Podcast.
unzip my pants.
I'm getting nervous.
I'm not to-
What he's going to say, I don't know.
I just don't like doing this, but I've got to give him this thing sitting next to me some credit.
Oh, it's so painful. I know that feeling, bro.
It's the worst.
I know that feeling.
Why you gonna call Cass a thing? What the hell?
I'm talking about you.
Oh.
He thought you were
As much as this dude messes with me a lot, it's probably been the most rewarding experience I've had. He's trained me from literally my first day running the ropes at 4,000 miles an hour, smoking cigarettes, powdering out to the ring, and sitting in front of a fan at ASWF, trying to catch my breath, to actually controlling pace and being able to have matches now has just been very fun. Best memory, I think, had to be the one I didn't know about, beating him.
Oh.
And
What? You beat me?
He beat you twice?
multiple times, actually. They don't know up there that you've got a win over me, so I'm not gonna tell them. Chop that out. Chop that out.
Do not acknowledge whatsoever that Nick has ever lost to the action.
We good? Tell it all.
I'll leave some parts out.
No. Tell it all. I want to hear this.
No, some parts out. But the first victory I ever really had was over him, even though I kind of messed the finish up.
As it happens, I still remember the what I call the torso flip hurricane run mounted punch. That was great, but we'll talk about that in a second.
I'll never forget the word. Nick, quit fucking up. So I got it, didn't know about it, totally like messed up as soon as it happened because I was so like, wait, that wasn't supposed to happen. Ref comes out and tells me, hey, go back in there so he don't look stupid. All right. Cool. But it's overall been fun. I got to do my most fun work, being a heel.
So basically, what he was saying is he went into the match thinking that I was going to beat him.
Oh.
He went into the match thinking I was going to beat him. I called the match and I told him, I said, Nick, whatever you do, don't let go of the pin. Even if I forget, you know, I was hoping they didn't give it away.
Right.
And I kept repeating it, Nick, whatever happens, pin me. If I don't kick out, don't break the count.
I don't catch hints very well.
Yeah, he didn't catch. Yeah, so we have a match. Nick doesn't know, but Cass knows. A few other of my trainees know. I'm like, I'm going to put Nick over. He thinks I'm going to win, but I'm going to put Nick over. So we had our match. We did everything we called. And one thing at the end is like when he got on top of me, he was going to cover me, and he thought I was going to kick out. But I remember I told him, I said, whatever happens, don't let go. If I forget. Right. What'd he do? This fucker lets go when he was supposed to win. And I said, God damn it, Nick, stop fucking up. in the mid-match, he like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. So we I don't remember what happened, but I ended up having him roll me up.
Me up and gave me a forearm, shot me off into the corner, and then I did an up and over, rolled you up, put my feet on the ropes very awkwardly.
And then he beat me 1, 2, 3.
Classic heel fashion.
So he clearly had no idea he was going to win, even though I literally gave it to him twice. And I had to basically like, okay, you're finna win. Shit, fuck, goddamn, you know, like that.
Pretty much.
So,
that's how I know. Oh, okay. Ding. That's how it usually works. But I mean, every time I've had a match with him, it's been really fun. No matter where we go.
Kiss ass.
What you hitting her? She said her name. Cass. Yeah,
sure.
You just hearing stuff.
I didn't hear her on her. Yeah, totally.
Good stuff.
Oh, this is falling apart beautifully.
It's great, isn't it, though?
No, you should be in the car rides with us.
I can imagine. I've been in car rides just with you, riding a few hours up and down for some matches you had back in the day. Yeah. But speaking of back in the day, especially with y'all coming up in your wrestling careers now, John, you've been at it how long now?
10 years.
10 years.
10.5, something like that.
So I have a question, because you guys are, Cass and Nick, you guys are still learning. Every match is learning. You're still learning, of course, too, John. But you're finding your style, you're finding your character, you're finding the way you wrestle. John, how much do you think what you had envisioned when you started wrestling and what you are? How different is that from how you are now?
Man, before I even started wrestling, when I realized I started wrestling, I tell them the story all the time. I was just happy just to be in the ring. Right. I didn't give a damn how many times I lost or won or anything. I was just so excited the fact that I was in a wrestling ring, because even in high school, I was like, I want to be a wrestler. I just want to be a wrestler, Right. And then I finally got to live that dream by training under Rodney, and he put me in matches, and next thing you know, I already had goals. I'm trying to get to WWE, but then when I kind of stopped and realized, like, holy shit, I'm a professional wrestler. I'm doing exactly what I said and wanted to do for my whole life, pretty much, or whatever. And so now when I go fast forward 10 years later and see where I've been and the stuff I've done on TV, the people who I wrestled, the guys who I met, the men that I had relationships with, no homo, with Bret Hart.
Maybe a little.
No. Okay, maybe a little. But, with Bobby Horn, Bret the Hitman Hart, Rodney Mack, people like that I personally know. It's just, I never would have seen this or envisioned this. And I'm just only excited to what the future may hold with me. All I can do is I'm just keep on chucking and keep on going and keep on trying to improve them and get them better, and hopefully we all get to live some type of dream or accomplish a goal. So I never expected to be where I am now, but I'm sure damn not gonna stop now. Oh
yeah, and I mean, I've known you almost 12 years. I think I knew you a little bit before you started wrestling.
We started working at EB Games together.
Yeah, but you were working at
that. It was before it was GameStop.
It was GameStop right when I came in. You were working at the Dollar Movies, and he was coming in, walking down the sidewalk when I'm sure he was supposed to be on the clock, bugging the hell out of us, scaring my niece, all kind of stuff while we were working side by side. Yeah. Then, I mentioned you last time in the interview, but, I'm going to tell it again. I'll tell it every time. I'm eternally grateful for this guy. I know it hurts to say stuff like that. Because, while being a wrestling fan my entire life.
It does, but it's true.
And while it didn't quite really pan out for me, but he got me into an early school. I forget the name of that class, the one that was down here in Sherwood.
The one
the go-karts. No, before
Rodney ran that.
He was there. Like I said, I showed that a lot. I didn't.
Yeah, I don't even know the name of it either.
I took I only made about 2 sessions, but like I saw him showing up for training, looking like MVP. It was hilarious. He had the scuba suit and everything.
Scuba suit. That's funny.
But I got thanks to you though. Like, and then like I said, that between that and getting in the ring a few times, learning the bumps and doing a little running ropes a little bit. Then there was the day that he just decided, he didn't decide. He fortunately called me up for the one time I was able to get in the ring when y'all's ref didn't show up for Rodney's show.
Yeah, you came in ref for us.
I came in ref. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. He literally calls me up on a Saturday going, hey, do you know how to count to 3? Like, yeah. You want a ref? Fuck yes, I want a ref.
There's so much more to the whole ref job.
Oh, it was, and actually Byron, I doubt he remembers, but he was the first match, and he was talking to me as much as he was talking to his opponent in the ring, telling me hey, check us, do this. Yeah. Like he had him in a submission. I'm like,
yeah, he's very hands on.
Yeah, hey, that's good.
Very critical on everything. Ain't that right, Cass? Yeah. She don't want to say that.
But
she's like, you're gonna get me in trouble.
But out of everyone, you talked to me, of course, a little bit because you knew who the hell I was. Yeah. But it was like after the match, after I did a horrible job reffing, and I did another. I think I did your match, I did your match. No, it was the ladies' match. It was Jazz. Jazz's match before yours, I believe. And it was a break. I got to go into the back, and Byron pulled me aside and was giving me tips and advice. And he was like, if you're gonna be refereeing for a while, and I told him what happened, but he was still willing to give me tips, give me advice how to wrestle. So forever grateful for that. Yeah. But
good stuff, man. Byron loves to help people. For those you don't know, Big Daddy Young Byron Wilcott is one of my best friends that I met. And everyone who knows him knows that he has a deep passion for this business, and he can come off as a super dick, but it's only because he loves the business, and he's very helpful for people who want to put in their work too of it. So,
and like I said, originally when I talked to you about putting this interview together, I thought maybe he might be able to come in. And I understand life is crazy, especially in the wrestling biz.
Yeah, well,
but cause I wanted to address something. I don't know if he's ever going to listen to this, but you can kind of pass along. I want to explain.
Yeah, I've told him about it. Whatnot.
Me and him had a bit of a misunderstanding on Facebook, and
no.
And what I wanted to tell him was, I understand why he was defensive of you, and I appreciate him being defensive of you. He just took a simple joking remark to him as offensive, and he came into John's defense, and I appreciate and understand that. So if he ever listens to this show,
okay, I'll definitely try to point it out to him and let him get his head. He's a very busy guy. So.
No, I mean not to listen, but at least let him know, hey, I understood what he was doing, and I actually appreciative of him being defensive of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But because you got to look out for the Padawans, the younglings,
yeah,
their trainees.
That he will do.
I'm sure if anyone talks shit about, at least Cassandra, maybe not Nick, John would defend them.
He said maybe not Nick.
Byron has a very interesting way of showing.
He said John.
I said Byron.
No, but
I would refer John, but you want to tell some Byron story real quick?
Yeah, you know what was on his mind. Yeah,
both. But okay, John's way of showing criticism and to coach is different than most people's. Byron, he's passionate. You can tell he likes the business. He cares. I'm a little hothead, so I may be getting pissed off sometimes. But
stop playing, you little bitch.
My
Woo!
Had
to throw that in.
My temperament and smart mouth can get me in trouble a lot. So shut up, guys.
There's a history behind that.
No, there really is. It can get me in a lot of trouble. And
history, not.
There ain't no history. Trust me.
So annoying.
Well, right on, but that's all just part of learning. You learn from the people who've been in the business, learn from their mistakes, and learn from their experiences, for sure. But we'll get into the big reason I was able to convince this podcast to let me talk about wrestling on a comic book show is SummerSlam. It's one of the big shows. I assume you guys watch the product being in the business.
Yeah. We normally watch all of the paper. Well, not all, but we've been trying to get a little pattern of trying to watch especially bigger pay-per-views together. I know we watched Mania together. And
awesome.
Was it Mania? No, we didn't watch Mania together. We were down there. I left when I flew out on the plane and left them there.
Ditched us.
All right. But we watched
Road Stories,
and Extreme Rules.
Yeah. So I definitely want to watch SummerSlam together. Because it's like a group of 8 of us, I believe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Awesome. All wrestlers or just all in the business. That's that's
so
very
we all
cool.
try to watch it, together and stuff. So yeah, definitely looking forward to SummerSlam.
Yeah, for sure.
I know the big thing everyone's wondering, with Brock possibly going to the MMA, is he gonna?
I'm gonna tell you now, I'm disappointed. I want to see Brock and Bobby. I want to see Black Lesnar versus Brock Lesnar. That's what I want to see.
Man, what's up? I've been misgiven. Have you been misgiven credit for who gave him that nickname? Because that's some other friends of mine. Oh, you heard it from me because I heard it from my other friends. Okay, yeah, Black Lesnar.
I mean, it's the same thing.
I mean, let's be real. He's
on a rope. The fireworks go out everywhere.
He may have changed it up a little bit, but when he first came to WWE, you can't tell me they weren't like, we need a new Brock Lesnar. You're going to be him from the leaping to the pyro and everything back in the day. The only thing he didn't have was the F5. He just had. I don't remember what his finisher was back in the day.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but
It was
like
weird lifting
suplex thing.
Then he used to spear people, do a running power slam, and then this thing called a dominator where he would pick somebody up.
Yeah, Ron said
like stealing Farouk's move.
Yeah.
That's right. That's why I also hated him, because Farouk is fucking amazing, and he's going to be here at a local convention here in September. Arkansas Comic Con beginning of September. Damn. Yeah, for sure. But obviously that's the big match. Everyone's wondering if Brock they're gonna keep it. They're gonna let him go. He wants to go MMA. Is he gonna keep being the absent champion?
I think it's gonna be a shocker. Whatever's gonna happen, I think he's gonna somehow do both of them. I feel like that's gonna happen. I do think that he's gonna put Roman over. But I don't think he's done with WWE. He loves his schedule way too much. He's getting paid all this money not to work, So who would want to pass that up? Unless he's ready to retire. But, that could be an option too. But that's not what I'm looking forward to the most. I'm looking forward to what a lot of people have given shit about, which is Ronda Rousey. She's been a complete surprise on her success so far in her matches. All her matches have been very entertaining. She has so much charisma. She's very good from, someone who's just literally just walked in the doors like a year or so ago, and what she knows now. I know they work with her hands-on for hours, and weeks at a time, but I really like the anticipation she brings to other fan base from other organizations, from UFC to just other people all around the world. It just brings so much electricity in the arena when her matches are on. If y'all haven't noticed any of her matches, like the one with Nia Jax and the one at WrestleMania, her matches, the atmosphere in the arenas just makes so much noise compared to your normal WWE superstars. And that's what you'll have a lot of crying about. It was like, well, she ain't been there long. We got all these people that's been here for years and they need their push. Well, that's not what's making money right now. And that's not I like to watch it as a fan instead of as a worker. Right. And a lot of people who complain most about the WWE product, they're complaining from a worker's aspect instead of a fan's. And me, when I'm looking at it from a fan, I'm going to like to see a celebrity come in there and do their thing, especially someone that's coming from UFC. How you going to come from UFC and then not beat up WWE people?
Right. That's actually been my biggest, because when I heard she was coming in, I'm thinking is this going to be a female Brock Lesnar? We're only going to see her a few months. And whether it's whether it's other obligations or WWE's booking of her, that's been my only complaint, because every match she's had, except Raw's, it was kind of just a bit of a cluster, but that's just kind of them moving their angle along. Mm-hmm. But my biggest complaint was the whole she hadn't wrestled much, because every match she put on, I've been entertained.
Yeah.
And surprisingly so, because I was very negative about her coming in, just because I was okay, there's someone else who just kind of wants to come in.
It was so surprising.
It was entertaining as hell.
It was really good.
She's got something, but that's the 30-day suspension story, and whether that's because of obligations outside the business, there could be multiple reasons. Yeah. I haven't liked how they booked that. But beyond that, she's been totally entertaining, and I think it's going to be a good match. But Nate, what's some of the SummerSlam matches you're looking forward to?
I mean, I've got a whole story about what I think is going to happen with the whole Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar.
Go for
it. Just like a lot of people, I think that Roman Reigns is going to win the match with the help of Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's going to lead Brock Lesnar's side and going to need a new advocate. I mean, that's his whole contract. What's his purpose of being in WWE without representing somebody?
So you think Roman's going to turn heel?
You never know. What if Paul Heyman turned face and became a face manager?
Or what if Roman turned heel and finally someone that can talk for him, which is all he needed was a mouthpiece, since he couldn't really cut that much good of promos. He's gotten better.
I don't think that's going to happen, though. You got too much money in the guy.
Okay.
To be in a top baby
face.
Right. But
Nick usually calls stuff. He's usually kind of accurate with stuff.
Okay. I don't know about that one.
Uh-oh.
I do.
I don't know. We'll see.
But I will say the one that I'm pretty sure about that not people talk about is the WWE Championship match. Samoa Joe
I'm
and
excited
AJ
for that
Styles.
one.
That's going to be
Yeah.
You're taking a
really
rivalry
good.
from TNA and bringing it over to WWE, doing it way differently.
Right.
But I think it's time for AJ to drop the championship to Joe because it's been such a great program that give me a new heel champion on SmackDown.
Oh, okay, Nick. I see.
I can see that. I'm with that.
I'm with that one.
Joe getting a title needs to happen.
Nick put some thought in that one.
They didn't put it on Shinsuke. They had one of my favorite heel runs of all time in recent memory, with just King of Low Blow style. Absolutely, they are all distracted now because they broke out some candy, and
I don't want
It's
my
a
breath to
myth.
smell like horse hiccups.
we all got mint. So this is gonna make the interview that much better.
That's like horse hiccups.
Right.
We heard you the first time.
We heard it.
What the fuck?
Hashtag horse hiccups. No.
For those who missed it.
How about you, Miss Cassandra?
Okay, so what I'm excited about, other than I'm really excited about the AJ and Samoa Joe match, but I'm also really excited about the Miz and Daniel Bryan. I love Daniel Bryan, and it's so cool to have like their feud from Talking Smack just finally get their match. I think it's a long time coming because for me,
Yes, you're right.
yeah,
Sorry.
it's no problem. You can agree with me; it's fine. I like that.
So that's how you get it.
Shut up. But,
Lord.
I know, goodness. But yeah, I'm really excited about that match because I've been a Daniel Bryan fan, and like whenever he came back with his speech, I was one of those people. I was like, I'm really emotional. So,
Are you tearing up now?
no, I'm not now, but
She getting the goosebumps.
I know. But it was just like an amazing speech, an amazing time. So I'm just like stop looking at me. I'm just so excited. I'm just really excited for that match for sure.
Good.
And of course Jeff Hardy. And I love Jeff Hardy match. And Shinsuke, I really like Shinsuke too. So I'm excited for that match as well.
No speak English.
I know. I love
His heel turn has been one of my
It was
favorite
amazing.
aspects of WWE in a long time. You don't enjoy it?
I'm more enjoying Randy Orton's current heel turn than Shinsuke's.
No, we seen Randy Orton do that shit before.
The whole thing with WrestleMania, that caught me off guard, but that just... Yeah...
Oh, a big Randy Orton fan?
Not really. I don't really care for Shinsuke's run as a heel. It's just not been entertaining to me.
Your voice changes with mints.
That means the mint's working when your breath kicks. It burns really bad. that mean your breath stank.
Well,
You try to act like it don't burn no more. Look at
things tend to fall apart when John's around. But I don't know, personally, for me, like Shinsuke Nakamura's heel run has been, I've loved every aspect of it. It's like this old school Ric Flair low blowing everybody from like back in the day. That king of low blow. So, how you gonna low blow someone and then fireman carry them over when that first time he hit AJ and flipped him over? That was just, it's been great. And it's just that an antagonizing, taunting heel role. I've enjoyed it. I mean, I get like, it ain't got to be for everyone. Yeah. Because I mean, hey, the beauty of a fan base, and this is what we talk about in comic books and movies into wrestling. It's good. It's good that not everyone agrees. Like personally, I'm tired of Randy Orton. I've seen every aspect I think we're ever going to see of him. Hand it up before he ruins his career.
I mean, I could agree with you there. I'm just saying, of those two heel runs, I've enjoyed Randy's a lot more just because he's come out there and he's cut some, I think, different promos. I mean, a lot of people used to give me shit for not liking Jinder Mahal's run as WWE champion. But I
Nick's racist also.
No, I'm not racist at all. For the 45 people who listen to this podcast, I am not.
Hey, you hear that number? 45, exactly.
Whoa!
Whoa! Yeah.
Buddy Trump?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Oh, Trumpster.
I didn't even put that together.
I don't even know what's happening right now.
I don't. I was only quoting the number that I was given as the producer and or host of this show, saying that he has 45 viewers, listeners. I'm not racist.
Did you watch Black Panther yet?
Yes, I have.
Did you show up on time for Black Panther? Because he didn't.
No. Oh. Well, that's because that's what black people do. We show up.
Yeah. We watched that together, and
If I was so racist, I wouldn't have the new Kanye West EP downloaded to my phone. Yeah.
No, but
you might as well say your best friend's black. That's what all racist people say. My best friend's black.
Y'all are my best friends, and y'all are black, so I mean that was kind of true.
Oh,
yeah. So fuck y'all.
Oh, now we got the tender moment.
His voice crackled too, so it was real.
Don't feel bad. He accused me of being racist until he saw Vanetta, so I mean, it's all right.
If I didn't get accused of being racist every time I saw them, it wouldn't be a friendship.
It's true. It's true.
I am the only white guy. Like, look, I'm the white guy of our group. We have another white guy. He's not a white guy.
For you out there listening, yes, I can confirm Nick is in fact white.
Porcelain white. I have to fake tan every time I go ready for it. Don't give away my secret.
So, any upcoming shows you want to advertise? Anything you want to promote of what y'all going to be appearing in?
We got me and Cassandra.
Get her phone out.
We
get the facts. Get the
she
details.
don't remember stuff, so because it's not.
It's fine. We can edit it down in post.
So, but anyway, so Saturday, her and I both are wrestling at a watermelon festival. I swear it's not racist, but it sounds like yeah, your face. But no, it's at a watermelon festival.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I just mean
it's in Hope, Arkansas. So I'll be wrestling Ray Ray, and she's wrestling
Asa Morta of the Manai.
Yeah, so
and this is for main event or what promotion
no, this
is this?
I don't know the promotion.
Global One Wrestling.
Global One Wrestling.
Now who doesn't care?
Yeah. But Global One Wrestling.
4:30.
So the bell time's at 4:30. That's what she's doing.
No, I already knew that. I was just looking at for my dates.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Well, yeah, Cass got booking every weekend.
No.
Not everybody's like her.
Sounds like jealousy right there.
But yeah, we do have 2 main event shows coming up. We have one September the 1st in Shreveport, and we have one September the 15th. It's in Texas. I can't remember I can't think of the name of the city right now. So, but yeah, we have one on the. Oh yeah, we have a show September the 5th. That's in Dallas. Was it
September the 8th?
8th. Yeah, what
that's
I say?
you said 5th.
Jesus, I'm sorry.
It's falling apart.
No, okay. So this is why I guess I should look at my phone like Cass is doing then. So, but yeah, we got a pretty busy schedule for the next few upcoming weeks. Starting with this weekend at the Watermelon Festival in Hope, Arkansas. So if you guys want to come down, if you're down in the area, if you want some watermelon, want to watch some black people wrestle, that's where we'll.
I'm sad I can't be there. I like both those things.
Yeah.
So, Nick, you got any shows coming up?
No.
Nothing. Not working anything.
I had to say that. I've got.
Nick is going to be wrestling September the 8th in Corning, Arkansas.
I was supposed to be wrestling Action Jackson, but we don't know how that's going to happen now that dude doesn't pay me. I'm going to get my money somehow.
So we'll talk about that, and then he's actually been working with Derek King. He's like a local legend in the Memphis area, over there at MEW Wrestling in Memphis, Tennessee. So he's been doing, like I said, Nick's been training. He's been working out for about a year now, and he's been having matches. Nick's getting so good. Like if you actually give him a microphone, he'll blow you away with his promos. He's really, really good at promos. He's invested in himself with not only his body but his look, for his gear, and for his training. It's paying off when he has his matches. He's getting better and better. The things that he do is it's like night and day. Same as Cass. Both from when they both started or at least when they met me till today, they're 2 different people. Or 4 different people technically. So, but them 2 was 2 different people before, and now there are 2 more people now.
Don't math, John. Okay, there's no math on us.
Did you see the Scott Steiner promo about the percentages?
I think that was better than what you're doing right now.
Oh god damn! It wasn't that bad. Oh man, but basically, I'm saying they're really coming out of their shells, and they're improving so much. They're making me very proud. They're so.
You're not supposed to let them know that. You're supposed to yell at them more.
I do. I do. I tell Nick to stop fucking up all the time. Still today.
Yep. He seriously does.
He'll get in the ring and he'll start doing some flippy kick shit, and I'm like, stop, Nick. And he just annoy everybody. But
you're hating on the flippy kick stuff there. I'm John. It sounds like it sounds a little familiar, doesn't it?
Hey, Kettle, how's Pot doing? Right. Yeah. But so I mean, these 2, and there's one more guy that I like to give a shout out to. His name is Tyler Knight. Matter of fact, they're tag team partners. Go ahead, Nick. Put yourself.
Yeah. What's your tag team?
Our tag team is myself, Tyler Knight, and the other guy, the coup d'état.
Coup d'état.
It means in French takeover, and it's all. I mean, you could combine it with a lot of things if you're going to put it gimmick to gimmick. A lot of the Shield, Sanity, just pretty much straight. We're running shit now, so get in line or stay behind.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
So but hopefully we can get Tyler Knight in here next time with us. But those 2 are probably my hardest working trainees, and they're really the most devoted ones who care so much and have so much passion, so much heart in this business, and their hard work is paying off by getting bookings. Because if you're not getting bookings, then obviously you're not impressing anyone. This ain't no shout to this. I'm not shitting on anybody else. It's just they work harder than the others.
I mean, facts are facts.
And facts are facts.
Hard work pays off, especially in this business. You get attention, you get people to notice you, you're going to get bookings and show up for your bookings.
That's right. Yes, that's
Never miss a booking. Always be there early. Shake people's hands. Don't talk.
Yeah.
don't talk, John.
Yeah. I'm talking about me.
So okay, so we're gonna wrap this up here soon. Why don't you guys just give our audience out there like where they can find you on social media, anywhere they can find some footage of your matches, anything you want to kind of give a shout out, and we'll start with Cassandra.
Well, you can follow me on Instagram. It's _Cassandra Golden _. Also on Facebook, have a like page. It's Cassandra Golden. I don't have a YouTube page yet, but one day I will get a YouTube page up and put my matches up there. I also have a Twitter. It is @Cassandra Golden. You should go follow me. It's new.
She is so proud. You see, she's just smiling big about the idea of her Twitter.
It's new. You should go follow me.
Okay. Nick?
You can find me on Instagram at Carter Mathews Official. On Facebook, I've got 2 Facebook pages. My regular page, Nick Scott, and then Carter Mathews. My like page, of course. And you can also. That's about it.
That's about. Keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
All right, and of course, you guys, you can find me Jonathan Holt on Facebook. If you're on Instagram, look me up as #1action _Jackson. And if you're finding me on YouTube, I can't remember my YouTube channel name, but all you gotta do is type in Action Jackson first, and you're gonna pop up like 2 different Action Jacksons. But I'm not the big one. I'm the little one.
Also, you can find my YouTube page where I post all of my matches and my other matches that I record for these 2 folks at Nick Scott. That's where you can find me.
Oh, nice.
All right, so there you have it. I did have a Twitter, but I don't even use it because it's I don't know. I've had it for so many years, but I do need to get back on it because a lot of people do love Twitter, and if I'm trying to make some noise, it's something that you have to do, regardless how stupid you think it is. So, get you a Twitter. Twitter, whatever.
I mean, that's real. Granted, I leave it to our co-host Caleb, who you met last time. He handled our Twitter for our podcast. Yeah. I handled the YouTube, the Instagram, and the Facebook. Because I don't like Twitter either, but he gets a lot of contacts, so for real.
Okay. It's a smart idea to get a Twitter. That's why I got one.
Yeah. Okay.
She got one.
Yeah. I mean, I got one too. It's like it's so lame too. It's like Jonathan Holt 6 or something. It's dumb.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank all y'all for coming in. This has been a really fun interview, and we cannot wait for SummerSlam. And glad to see him influencing some people into wrestling. At least he's doing something with his life.
Hey,
but
yeah. So.
But thank y'all very much.
Thank you. Where do we collect our paychecks from?
Oh, you have to go talk to Caleb about that.
All right.
Yeah.
It's
in the Robin's Nest. So that's actually Craig. So.
Okay. All right.
Thank y'all very much. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.